Khaby, the most followed TikToker, reveals his multi-million dollar salary. And I thought this would be a pretty interesting thing to basically cover because on TikTok, when you make a video, you basically don't make any money from the views you get on that video from TikTok. You mainly have to make your money through other means. So let's get right into it. Is the salary fit for an internet king? The most followed TikToker on the platform revealed just how much he makes per post, setting him up for a multi-million dollar salary this year. Khaby, who surpassed Charlie D'Amelio in June as the most followed content creator, touts 149.5 million followers at just 22 years old. You know what's funny? I think he's actually bigger than Australia. So, in an exclusive with Fortune, Lame dished that in addition to the millions of likes he earns per video, he also racks up cash, and in fact, he can make up to $750,000 per clip, which has him on track to make a whopping $10 million in 2022. Most of Lame's income comes from brand deals in the form of online content. On average, it's estimated he makes around $400,000 per TikTok clip he creates for any given brand. But of course, they did say, and he himself said, he can make up to $750,000 per clip. And the crazy thing is that this is basically just going to keep on growing as his size keeps growing. Like if he continues to increase the amount of people that watch his content, he might end up making like $1 million per like very quick videos for like 15-second videos basically. Imagine getting paid like seven figures for like a 15-second video. So most influencers get to a certain point in their career where they've endorsed and supported a number of brands and have a flat fee for these structures. But they start to want a bit more incentive or upside from those relationships. Reina Pinchansky, CEO and founder of influencer management company Digital Brand Architects, told Fortune, "That's when we start to more meaningfully discuss ways for them to get into deeper relationships with companies or around companies they want to start." And here's the thing. The craziest thing about Khaby is that there's two ways to look at it, right? He probably could end up selling a product or service or app or whatever and have actually a lot of people use it just because of the size of his following, right? But what's interesting is you might end up actually having like a smaller creator have a much more loyal fan base, more connected fan base than Khaby, just because Khaby content is also short, right? So it's hard for his followers to be able to connect with him on like on a one-on-one level, right? But there's some people who only have like 1,000 subscribers or 1,000 followers, where their followers, every single one of those 1,000, could be actually worth more than Khaby followers, right? Which is interesting. So in a recent clip with more than 11 million views, Lame shows himself debunking a magic card trick posted by another user, saying it was easy in the caption. While he's created similar videos demystifying others' unbelievable tricks, he also racks up the views on clips in which he pokes fun at others' videos or makes up his own skits. Although the silence is part of the joke, Lame, a Senegalese immigrant, is hell-bent on learning English. He practices with a tutor every day for an hour, in addition to watching American cartoons and movies, and told Fortune he hopes to win an Oscar someday. But not being an English speaker hasn't stopped him from achieving internet greatness. The TikToker's fame has landed him among the stars, literally meeting the likes of rapper Snoop Dogg, actor Idris Elba, and singer Jason Derulo. And in fact, he's even scored him a collection with Hugo Boss, and the company also paid him a mint to the tune of $450,000 to walk in their Milan Fashion Week show and post online. Additionally, according to a contract reviewed by Fortune, he was also paid $750,000 by a major Hollywood studio for a single TikTok, which is crazy. Again, imagine you make a TikTok video and you make almost $1 million from that video. But Lame's life wasn't always this lavish. Immigrating with his parents from Dakar, Senegal in 2001 to the Turin suburb of Chivasso, Italy, he grew up alongside his three siblings, and after graduating high school, he labored as a factory machine worker until the pandemic struck, leaving him out of a job. What first began as a hobby birthed out of boredom in 2020 has now become Lame's livelihood. In a matter of days, he rapidly gained millions of followers on TikTok, paving his way to becoming the most followed creator on the app and eventually superseding social media sweetheart D'Amelio. He does admit, however, that he knows his time in the limelight might be short lived, as the ever changing interests of the internet might knock him off his TikTok throne. At least, while he's there, he's basking in the spotlight with the hopes of making it on a screen larger than that of a smartphone. And the thing is, right? I think that's actually a smart thing for him to actually do. And the reason for that is because of what I mentioned a little bit earlier. That it's hard for someone that produces such little short content, right, to really connect with his fan base, right? You might see some videos here and there, and you're like, oh, that's an interesting video, or that's a funny video, or that's a cool video, right? But you don't really connect with the person within the video or who created it. But if you were to see him go do like a movie and like where he acts or does some of his skits but in a longer form, releasing more of a personality in long form, then there's going to be way more people feeling way more connected to him. Meaning there's going to be a lot more longevity for him, and it means that he's actually going to make more money long term. So Lame's story does not stand alone, though. The TikTok boom, in part due to the pandemic, fostered a new generation of internet stardom, one mostly dominated by Gen Z. Like any social media platform, TikTok is a hub for both serious creators and the average person alike to post about pretty much everything under the sun. That being said, there's internet fame to go around, with the algorithm giving anyone like Lame the chance to go viral. And this is the interesting thing, right? Depending on the platform that you're on, can really determine whether or not you end up making a livelihood out of it. And what I mean by this is that depending on your ad rates on the different platforms, right? One single video could potentially make you enough money for the whole year or more, right? Like, for an example, I believe a YouTube creator by the name of Biaheza, who's like a finance YouTuber, he has, I think, 2 different videos on his channel with like, I think 2 to 3 million views on there. That those 2 videos each has made over $100,000 themselves, right? Think about that. Think about making basically $200,000 from 2 videos. 2, okay? Now, I don't know how long it actually took him to make those videos and all that kind of stuff, right? But just think about that. 2 videos could potentially make you more money than the majority of careers out there. And creator Lance Stewart, who first started his online career on Vine back in the day, previously told the Post that he has never grown on a platform as fast as he has on TikTok, and at the time, he touted 13.2 million followers after being on the app for a mere 8 or 9 months, compared to other sites where he slowly built a following over multiple years. Now, 2 years later, he's amassed 22.4 million followers. And TikTok reached 1 billion users per month, which was reported last year, and is only continuing to grow. And the app is rising up the ranks amongst its competitors while dealing with copycats surpassing Twitter, Pinterest, Snapchat, while still trailing behind Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Now, here's the thing, right? I think Khaby probably is going to have a longer career than other people just because the type of content that he makes is extremely broad reaching, right? Because he doesn't typically speak in the videos, right? It's mainly about his like physical reactions. Think of like a Mr. Bean if you've seen Mr. Bean before, right? No language, but simply reacting to videos physically, emotionally, right? Meaning that anyone of any language, of any culture, could view the video, understand what's going on, and laugh about it, which is an amazing thing. That means there's no language barrier for basically all of his content, which is pretty cool to see. But that also gives him like a longevity aspect to it because every single one of his content is typically worldwide friendly. Now, if you want to learn how to get a debt and master your money, go to 40inbox.com. And I thought this was a pretty interesting thing. But one thing's for sure, if he is actually fearful of his like longevity, he needs to have a pretty hefty emergency fund, a pretty hefty investment portfolio within real estate, stocks, that kind of stuff, and also have some parts of growing businesses that he ends up shouting out for these sponsorship posts. And he'd be basically set for life.